Is he sick or something?
All right. Hey, we're
No, I think
live,
he's
but you wouldn't know that because there's no ding.
There's no ding.
What happened to the ding, man?
Why wouldn't it keep just that one? Like, I don't want all the other dings, but the one that's like, ding, we're live, just so you guys know.
Yeah, my thing says live.
Okay, well, it won't ding, but at least you'll know it's live. So,
I can see
Wednesday,
the little yellow thing up in the corner saying live.
live. It says live.
Live. Okay.
All right, Wednesday night, time for YATS. This is going to be episode 95. So, insert the theme music here. It's still so weird. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Wednesday, May 14th, 2014. This is episode 95 of YATS. Every week, Wednesday night, right here. Yet another techshow.com. Check it out. I'm Matt Lee. Join me this evening. We got Aunt Pruitt in the house. What's up, Aunt?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Lee?
We got Larry Press joining us also. What's up, Larry?
Hi, guys. Good to see you.
And from AOTA, Nick Carroll joining us. What's up, Nick?
Hey guys, glad to be back.
Good to have you back. All sorts of tech stuff going on. Kind of want to start out and mention the whole Netflix price thing. You guys probably, I'm sure everybody that listens to this and that is here is a Netflix subscriber and has been for, you know, a while.
It's forever.
In a couple years, for all of us, we're going to be paying an extra $1. It's going to be $8.99 instead of $7.99, right? But for new people, for like the 18 people that aren't on Netflix, they're going to start out at $8.99. Ant, you got any thoughts on this?
No, I don't really care because I'm getting quality content and a quality experience with Netflix. I sort of expect it to go up, and you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Especially now, there's going to be some higher resolution video in our future too.
Oh, yeah.
With them, they're already using 4K. They just can't give it to us just yet. But you know that's coming, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, we use the heck out of it here. You know, I've got a rather large family, and we use it on multiple devices here. Not always at the same time, of course, but it's we're getting our money's worth out of it. I'm surprised the price hasn't gone up already. You know, like my cable bill or other bills that typically go up. So it's money well spent. Even if you are just somehow finding out about Netflix today, it's still worth that money. So.
Dude, I remember when I first signed up for Netflix, and I used to get the Blu-ray packs, and I would get, I want to say I signed up for the three DVDs / Blu-rays out at a time.
Yeah.
And dude, I think I was killing Netflix, killing them. They had to be losing money on me because I would go to the office, come home, pop a Blu-ray in, send that little rascal back, and do the same thing every single day.
Wow.
They're paying for that shipping. And then when I was in the office before we decided to put some content filtering on, I was watching stuff while I was working on things. So I mean, I was killing them.
I was a skeptic actually when I first heard about it like many years ago, mostly because of the DVD side of things. Like, this is a fad. This will never work. The digital streaming stuff sounds cool, but at the time I was still a skeptic. But my wife was like, you know, we're going to go and get it. I'm like, okay. And it's been an investment. We've had it, I think, ever since. So yeah.
It's interesting if you think about, like, they made it as easy as you could have possibly have made it. Like, they sent them to you, and then they sent you a thing to put them in when you were done, and all you literally had to do was stick it in the mail. Like, pull a tab and then stick it in the mail.
Because it was like morning routine.
Yeah, right? And way better than the BMG CD scams back in the day where you'd sign up and get like 18 CDs for 2 cents. You know, like, this model... like way more awesome, you know. I think if the old CD companies that were doing that instead of selling them were just like renting them and made it easy for, like, they would have lasted way longer and made way more money, I bet.
Yeah, it's an interesting investment they made. You know, they actually put the money down to get that business going, but I think what really took off for them was the streaming side of things. So they made their money back in droves.
Really? Well, they were losing money on the disc?
I think initially they probably were. So, but I think that
the movie selection on the disc was always terrific. I don't get them anymore, but they always had way more better movies than the streaming side.
Yeah, and it was a lot less hassle than going to like Blockbuster or whatever. So yeah.
Well, and a lot of that was the deals, right? They had certain deals that were like, yeah, here's the disc, but you can't stream that. Are you kidding? You want to put this on where? No, never.
You know, we do Hulu Plus too, just because they have a lot of movies that Netflix doesn't have, especially old movies, old classic kind of movies.
You know, Hulu Plus, I might be wasting money on there because I've probably used that service 3 times since I've signed up for it. You know, and it's, I know it's cheap. It's only what, like $8 a month or something like that, but it might be time for me to let that one go.
Yeah, well, my wife has used the free service from time to time, but we've considered paying for it, but we get so much out of Netflix, we've just never really, I don't think we've ever actually paid for Hulu yet, so. And it's got ads anyways on the pay for service as well.
That's another thing. I'm like, I cannot skip this stupid ad, and I use it through a media server on the computer, so I can flip it over to the television, and you get the mouse action and so forth to try to skip through stuff, and that damn ad it has a pop-up there that says, is this ad relevant to you? But yet when I try to click on it and say no. It just ignores me. It's like, it is relevant.
Oh, too bad. Here it is anyhow.
Yeah, is this relevant to you? Well, I don't care. Here it is anyways. Have a good one.
Still gonna watch it, dude. Shut up.
Yeah.
I like how Facebook does that, and it's like, do you want to see this ad? And you're like, no, and it's like, well, why? And like the option I always want to click is because it's an ad, but that's never on there. It's like,
never there.
This is spam, or it's not relevant, or it's so stupid.
Yeah, well, Hulu, you know, they had even more ads in the past, and I guess a year and a half ago, I think, they reduced the amount of ads they were getting, at least for the paid-for service. I know that's still out there, but they received a lot of heat for that. And then speaking of ads on Facebook, I remember watching, I think, John P. from GeekBeat. He was showing when they had switched formats on Facebook to like the most recent skin, and he was getting like ad, person, and then like 8 ads in a row, then another person. So he had it bad as far as like the number of ads compared to people, updates. So that was really bad. So.
Good grief.
I was getting that a lot on mobile. Not so much on like the web, and maybe because I use mobile more, so I noticed more there. But every time I seem to use the web, I didn't really get that many. I'm using like AdBlock Plus and stuff like that. I don't know how well that works inside of Facebook, but it like I don't see that a lot of ads on the web, and I've really noticed it a lot. Speaking of that, because I kind of switched over to a clean Firefox install to kind of try and get these Hangouts going a little better, which doesn't seem like it's doing that much of a help. But
Google appreciates you just calling out their browser like that inside of their product.
Like a pig. Like when Firefox had memory leak errors and problems like that during like version 6, and people called them out on it. Guess what? They fixed it a couple versions later. Chrome is just getting like more and more. I had to reboot Chrome like 4 times to get the update to load. Like it just froze on like trying to load update or download update or whatever, and it just sat there at 0% for like 5 minutes. And I came back in from a smoke. I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Okay, so that's Chrome's fault and not that artifact you call a laptop fault?
I don't know, man. Internet Explorer 6 runs just fine on it, so you tell me.
It's a symbiotic relationship, more like parasitic, but yeah.
Parasitic.
It is. I'll tell you also another problem with this other machine that's on XP. Never mind that. Java. I use Java for one thing and one thing only, and it's this app for Android called Gmode. You can like play things on your computer and stuff. I don't really use it much now that I moved, but Java has been asking me to update it for like the last 4 months now, right? And like I disable it in the browser and all that, so it's not a big deal. But so today I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I had some time. I'm gonna update everything. I'm gonna break some stuff. I'm gonna fix some stuff. It's gonna be all fine, right? I go to download it, it downloads, it goes to install. It's like, no, I can't do that. Something's corrupt with the java.msi thing. I was like, all right.
Jeez.
I went and cleared the app data, cleared this, deleted that, still wouldn't do it. I was like, all right. I uninstalled the existing Java, right?
Yeah.
So now there's no Java at all. Rebooted, tried to do it, same error. So now I can't have any Java apparently on this computer, which is fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna cry about it or anything.
Yeah, Java's
just left it, right? I should just left.
Yeah, Java's a pain in the ass. I mean, there's always new versions you have to get, and if you got the old files in the background, they cause issues and compatibility issues. And if you're an app developer and you're trying to use Java, you got to make sure that your program works well with it. And it's a pain in the ass on our end as users, you know, to have it on our computers, especially how easy to exploit. Yeah.
If you're Google, they're trying to sue you. I mean, it just nothing works, you know.
Yeah. Can't wait till we evolve past the use of Java at some point. I don't know what's going to replace it really, if it's going to be just HTML5 or something else, but it's getting old.
Will we? I don't think we will.
At this rate, no.
At this rate, Oracle will make sure never.
No.
I didn't throw it in the rundown, but I mean we can talk about it if you guys want. Just they had their appeal, right? Oracle. You guys remember like 18 years ago, Oracle sued Google, and the judge learned. He didn't learn to like code Java, but he learned to do the API calls. What was it, a range check or something? He actually took a weekend and like taught himself how to do that so that he could rule, you know, with a little background, some information. And of course, Oracle appealed it, and for some reason they said that they were right. So now Google has to appeal it to the high court or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all games.
It's not the range check algorithm's not the problem. It's the name of the functions and stuff, I think.
It's the APIs. They were saying, it's the APIs, and you can't copyright APIs.
Can you copyright, like if a function is called max or something, can you copyright MAX? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll be.
You can, but then nobody else will. How do you expect other people to use it then?
Not only that, does Oracle now own the word MAX that you can never? You have to take it out of Excel and everywhere else. I mean, come on.
That's what I was saying. It's a function. Functions are named anything.
Yeah, but also Excel has a function called MAX, as does every other language.
Yeah.
It's like Texas Instruments trying to copyright the cosine function because it's a button on their calculator. You know, like you can't copyright that. It's not a thing that you made. Yeah. It's a thing you like implemented.
You know, talking about outrageous things. Did you guys see? I came across. I think I put it on Google Plus that. Amazon has a patent on the idea of taking a picture in front of a background. Jeez, what kind of thing is that? What a great idea. Whoa, never thought of that.
You know, big ups to Amazon for just showing how stupid our patent system can really be. You know,
that's why they did. Amazon. You think it was a quit on?
You know, so now I can't take a picture against a white wall.
That's great.
True. You know, but I think it's more trolling.
I'm surprised eBay didn't beat them to that.
What is Apple going to think about it, considering all of their products are usually lined up against some type of black image or a white image? You know, to show
they
off their
invented the color white, so Apple invented white. So
that's true. Amazon might actually get sued by Apple there. I think they're onto something.
Hey, Matt. Maybe you could patent, you know, taking a photograph against a light orange background.
I could patent the podcast workflow.
I'm gonna patent taking a picture against a hex EEFF10 background.
Nice. Nice.
It'd be like a game of Pokemon. Collect them all, just each different hex code for your background, patent all of them. Yeah.
Shit. Why stop with white? There's so many other colors.
Yeah.
I went through W3C schools, and now I'm suing for this patent. That's all. Did you guys see the article on Recode about how all of these cord cutters are gulping down all of this bandwidth? Kind of talking about, they say Sandvine, it's a broadband networking company, they provide periodic reports on web usage. They say the top 15% of streaming video users go through 212 gigabytes of data every month. And that's more than 7 times the average broadband user who uses 29 gigabytes. So saying that if you don't have TV, if you're just using the internet, right, you're going to use way more internet than if you had TV also.
Yeah, it's pretty logical, but like I'll say in my case,
obvious.
Yeah, but I'll say in our case, we have a lot of people in our house, and so while we do have cable, we probably download and upload more than your average person anyway as well. Maybe not more than your average household, but yeah, it's pretty obvious.
I mean, what do people expect on a analysis like that? Is that even an analysis? I don't have any internet. I don't have any television, so I might as well get online. You know, or maybe they were thinking, okay, if you don't have television, read another book.
That's true. They also should study that correlation.
Comcast has their way. That won't be a problem because you won't be able to use the internet unless you have television.
Yeah, that's the way they do it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to get into it. I have this week watched the Tour de California streaming on NBC, and that is getting really outrageous. It's tons of commercials. You can't see it if you're not a subscriber to one of the legitimate TV channels. I mean, they bundled it with TV and loaded it up with more commercials than you can imagine, and it destroys the whole thing. It's like it's terrible.
Just when you think it's going to be online, it's going to be more convenient and more inside track kind of thing. You're really not missing out if you were just sitting on your couch watching it on your big screen. Right?
Yeah. It's just, or I can watch it off my computer on my big screen, but the idea that I have this, I kind of checked it out, it's like about 30% of the time is commercials. You can only watch it if you're a subscriber to one of the anointed TV things. And by the way, Comcast happens to own NBC, and NBC happens to own the Olympics and the Tour de France for the next 10 years. I mean, we're just getting it's really getting bad.
And it's not just the ads between like there's periods of time that you're watching your show and then the ads, 2+ minutes in between. It's all the ads you're dealing with in the actual program content itself. So yeah, I mean, you're basically watching a continual stream of ads. Oh, and there's a little bit of racing. So yeah.
Yeah. Have you watched it at all, Nick? Have you been watching it?
I've not, but I've watched the Olympics and other things on NBC back, from time to time, and it's nothing but ads. And in between, like say swimmers diving or events, it's just more ads.
NBC did the Tour de France last year, and instead of having a gazillion ads, they said, okay, pay us, I think it was $29, and you can stream it. And that's, to me, is a better deal. I'd rather pay whatever it takes.
We're actually enjoying more of what you're supposed to be seeing, not the ads. So
yeah. But anyhow, Comcast is really. I mean, they've got the Olympics tied up. They've got the Tour de France tied up. They've got, they're the biggest ISP. They're trying to buy Time Warner, and they own NBC. I mean, there's so much conflicts of interest, and this idea of bundling TV and internet access. Oh, you can't see it on the internet if you're not a TV subscriber. I mean, it's just like, Jesus, somebody's got to put a stop to it.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes or keeps pay-per-view a relevant models, because you have the option for some content you just pay for and watch the whole thing. So.
And that's what they did last year with the Tour de France, and it was worth it. $29, and you can see all of it for all the days and not have to look at commercials.
Do you think all of this griping about the bandwidth being used by the cord cutters, do you think it would be an issue if there were packages of 10 megabits per second or lower?
No, I think it's just data over time is what they're really concerned with, that monthly amount. So like they'll say, hey, you can, have a 50 meg down connection, but you can only get 200 or 300 gigs a month or something like that. That's what they try to hold you to. I don't think they care much about how much you're downloading at any one time, because they're going to cap you anyways. You're going to be limited to 50 megs, even though theoretically you could pay more and download at a faster rate. So I think that's really what they care about. So
I got you.
Well,
I haven't. Go ahead,
The
sorry.
CEO of Comcast this week gave a speech in which he said within 5 years they would have caps on all accounts.
Yeah. Well, not only that, we risk, like with net neutrality being potentially thrown out. If you're a cord cutter, maybe you even pay more for an internet connection than someone that is not a cord cutter. So that may be something you deal with. So.
Get ready. Well, that's what they bundle up. Isn't it that way already? Like if you subscribe to TV, did they give you a discount on your internet or not?
I think you could get a discount for not using cable, but I don't think it's. I would have to look that up, but I don't believe it's. They highly incentivize you using cable, so.
Right. I remember you saying a couple years ago, in a letter I got talking about data caps coming. I haven't seen it yet, fortunately.
Yeah, same here.
Lord knows I'd be screwed.
Yeah. Well, the Comcast CEO said in a speech within 5 years that will be the case across their whole footprint.
Well, that's what they're working for.
No, no. He said if you made me predict today, I would predict that in 5 Comcast at least would have a usage-based billing model rolled out across its footprint.
Yeah.
So they just asked him, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he's like, rich.
Yeah. Rolling in dough.
Rolling in the dough. They have 20 million customers about. And it says in 2012 they increased their existing cap from 250 gigs to 300. So if you don't have a cap, but your cap is 300, that you have a cap then, right?
Well, it's like how do you have net neutrality? How do you fight for net neutrality for Tom Wheeler if you're trying to put two different tiers, of users essentially? So I mean,
we're all going to be neutral in that everybody gets 1 gig.
And NBC traffic that Comcast owns won't count against your cap.
Yeah, that's what they would do.
Yeah, it's just total conflicts of interest and crazy bundling.
Yeah, that's technically not net neutrality, but I don't know what the hell Tom Wheeler's thinking, arguing otherwise. So.
Is tomorrow the big day for the proposal?
Yeah, I think I believe so.
We shall see.
What are we expecting? Some lube?
Yeah.
Doom.
We're expecting
and
Google to come up with something big.
There you go. I want Google Fiber at my house.
What if one of those loon balloons fell out of the sky and crushed Tom Wheeler? Would that blow minds or what?
Absolutely beautiful.
I'd settle just for Google deciding that West Los Angeles is a place to offer fiber. That would make me.
You would.
Didn't they try?
I bet you would.
Didn't they try that there, or was that San Francisco? I know they were trying somewhere on the west coast.
They're looking at 34 cities, they say.
Oh, wow.
One of which is San Jose, as I recall. But none of which are giant cities like Chicago or New York or L.A. or even San Francisco. And there was the guy that's the head of Google Fiber, Milo somebody, I can't remember his last name, Medine, I think. About 6 months or a year ago, he in a speech said, "Hey, this is a real business, and we're going to really do it." And I caught that and did a blog post on it, but I don't know if they've officially declared it, but he sure said it. This is not an experiment, and it's not trying to just tweak the cable companies. This is a real business, and we're about to get into it. So I hope he's telling the truth.
Well, Google's trying to find other ways to make money other than just ad revenue on YouTube and Google searches. So, I mean, they're trying to find something that works. You know, like they're trying glass, they're trying these pilotless vehicles. I forget what they call driverless cars. You know, they're trying everything. So.
Did you see the driverless car on the last episode of Silicon Valley?
No.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
have you been watching it?
I'm behind on it.
It's like my favorite show now. It's so good. It's so
I watched
funny.
the first 15 minutes and I thought, this is kind of boring. I've never gone back. I should give it a shot.
It's okay. It's sort of, you know, it's parody, you know.
Oh, for sure. It's like parody of the utmost. It's so good.
I think I'm on the third episode. Is the last one that I saw, so I'm behind.
Oh, I'm gonna go when we hang up. I'm gonna go watch it. If you guys endorse it, I go for it.
Yes.
YATS endorses it.
YATS.
I like here it talks about Time Warner Cable, right? Which, you know, Comcast is trying to get their greedy little greasy hands all over. It said last year they began testing a new 30 gig usage capped billing option to its broadband customers. They offered discounts to those who agree to limit their usage. If you use less, we'll give you less and we'll charge you, well, we're going to still charge you the same, but we'll give you less. We'll pretend like we're charging you less for the first year, but then it's going right back up again.
Yeah, everything goes up every year whether it needs to or not. I'm one of their customers, and now that you mention it, I don't think maybe I could find out, but I have no idea how much bandwidth, how many bits I do per month.
Yeah, I've tried looking, you know, up to about a year and a half ago, I was able to, from time to time, go onto my, like I use Comcast, but I would go essentially to my Comcast profile, and I would be able to find how much I've used. In the last year, I've gone to the site probably 3 or 4 times. I can't find it. I literally can't tell how much data I use. It doesn't come out on our bill. We still get paper bills every month. I have no idea how much bandwidth I use in a month, and I know I use a lot because there's 8 people in this house. So, yeah.
8 people? How many computers? How many streams can you have going at once?
Everyone's got a computer, and most of us have a mobile device or a laptop. So
probably have 15 streams going at once.
Yeah, I mean, my wireless router is right up here, and I can log into that at least. So maybe I'll see if I can figure out data usage from that. But there's a list of connected wireless signals, pretty long on that. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Can you other guys? I've not tried. I'm going to try to find out if I can see from Time Warner how much. I have no idea how much bits I'm consuming.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know generally in like homes, right? Like on phones and stuff, we're used to the tracker. Like you can go into your account or whatever. You can go into, you know, Android has its own. And you can just see right there. We don't really have anything for that. That's kind of interesting. Like even my electric company, I can go online and like they give me charts of usage and average costs and all that. Nothing like that for internet. And for something that they keep hyping that like, oh, we're gonna, you know, meter your use or you have a cap, you'd think they'd want us to be able to keep track of that kind of stuff.
And they quote statistics. They'll say like, oh, only 0.01% exceed this cap that we're thinking of putting on, so don't worry, it won't affect you. But yeah, I'm going to check. I'll try to. You guys should all check, see if you can figure out how much you're using.
I'm in mine right now trying to see usage on here. Supposedly they offer a usage bill, and damn it, I can't find it just yet. Billing and usage.
We'll talk about it on the community, and then we'll come back next week and we'll.
Yeah, let's get everybody try to see if they can.
Homework, listeners and us.
An assignment.
Figure out how much internet you're using.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Larry will grade you on your performance.
Yeah, exactly, man. The assignment is due next Tuesday.
Exactly.
Sorry, I did not see this on my syllabus.
There's been an update. When you sign the contract, you know, it can be updated any time without your consent. So
there you go. And you get extra credit if you also get your mobile usage.
You get charged more if you. That's awesome.
You get a gold star. That's good.
That's true. And all of those are very in demand, man.
Mine is only showing me how much money.
How much money
you charge?
Yeah, that's no problem. That they have no shyness about.
Come on, give me a chart. Interesting. I'll check into that though.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Oh, Nick, tell us Flappy Birds coming back. Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just saw this article. The game we all love to hate, or I in particular love to hate. Flappy Bird, an Android and iOS game. The real version, not all the thousands of knockoffs.
No, this is the Dong Nyong version, right?
Yeah, this is that guy.
That's right, Dong Nyong. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
No, it's Dong Nyong, and he made Flappy Bird. And remember, we called that, right? We're like, he's going to be back with a hyped-up Flappy Bird 2, right? And you know what? Just like any good game, when their original game is a hit, and then they have nothing else, right? They're like, I'm out of ideas. What do? You make it multiplayer.
Oh,
boom. Flappy Bird 2. It's going to be multiplayer.
That is weird. I wonder how that's going to work. Okay, I'm interested.
I want consecutive. I want it like at the same time. What's that called? Like Contra back in the day was like at the same time, not you have to wait until I die and then you can play the level. Like that's fun.
Yeah, you have like a red bird, a blue bird, a green bird. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Am I the only person that never played Flappy Birds?
I never played it either, Ant. We just talked about it on AOTA.
I played it once. I think maybe a high score of 2. Like the first time I got 1. I think I got 2, and that was it.
That's really good.
I was this close to throwing my phone. Literally, I've had cell phones for a long time. I've never thought about throwing my phone until I played that game.
Oh man, that game is evil.
Yeah. I can't afford to throw a phone, so yeah, I got uninstalled.
That makes me want to go to the 1+1 site and enter my phone to get destroyed, and then throw my phone.
Then throw it.
Yeah. You got to get an invite first, though. You got to get an invite. Don't do it before.
That's true. And then I will get angry and throw my phone.
That's right.
Let's see. Apple, is this for real, or is this? I feel like this isn't happening, but maybe Apple's gonna buy Beats for 3.2 Instagrams. Is that legit?
Dr. Dre apparently seems to think so.
Did Dr. Dre not get the memo that Apple likes to keep things on the DL until they're actually announced? He's like on Facebook, like, "Yo, check this out. I'm rich. I mean, I was rich, but now I'm rich."
Yeah. Better yet, doesn't he know that Apple don't have any people of color on their executive org chart?
They do now, or they will.
We'll see.
No, I still haven't bought into it because I haven't seen a confirmation on it. But after digging a little more, it's geared more towards a streaming service and so forth, and that makes a little more sense than the hardware. Because you guys know the hardware is horrible.
Yeah, well, it may be more.
It's
like
all like a gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, it may be something more like a partnership, like I was gonna the other name for just left me, but Nike, for example, they're gonna no longer be producing some of their fitness accessories, and it's rumored that Apple is gonna be coming up with their own fitness accessory, likely produced by Nike. So this may be something along the same veins where they'll produce their own headsets with the Beats logo. So you'll see the the black and white dancing people with the white earbuds, the Beats logo. So maybe that's what we're going to see in the future at the next whatever they call their WWDC or whatever. So
WWDC.
I'm kind of curious what this does for like Android phones that came with Beats. Like is that, if this goes through, is that a weird thing now that like, oh look, Beats is exclusively Apple and some of these old crappy Android HTC phones, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I know HP also has had, up until recently at least, as far as I know, they still have an agreement with, or a partnership with Beats. So, some of their products come with Beats.
Even some laptops, didn't they? I forgot about that. Yeah. Which, and it's all, like we were saying, it's all like gimmicky. Maybe, I don't know, maybe for a phone and for a laptop, compared to what was in there before, having Beats in there is good. But don't let that confuse you with, like, these are awesome sounding headphones. No, they're not at all. They're completely crap.
Well, I mean, if you're into that sound profile and you're using like the Beats audio profile or whatever you call that, and then you're using like Beats headphones, I'm sure that if you're in the right type of music that fits that sound profile, that's probably the bomb. That's probably what you want to be in. But maybe for your audio file, not so much.
You have to listen to Dr. Dre's The Chronic on this sound profile using Beats, right?
That's right. You're locked into their ecosystem. That's right.
And at that point, you might as well just EQ your own damn shit and use any headphones you want, right? I mean, it's like, Beats. And honestly, their logo kind of reminds me of the Chrome logo for some reason.
Yeah.
The dot circle.
Isn't this kind of an admission of bankruptcy of ideas by Apple? I mean, you think of Apple as making, really nicely designed. I mean, why are they buying a piece of? Come on, why don't they at least do a deal with Bose or something?
Yeah, it is kind of weird because Apple is a premium logo.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, Beats has a ton of users. There's so many idiotic teenagers and idiotic parents of said idiotic teenagers that bought all of these $300 headphones that sound like crap because they look good, And granted, some of them do look nice, but man, they don't sound good.
I think understanding the purpose of them. If you want something on your head that looks nice, what you want is a hat.
A hat.
Maybe
a nice turban. He's got some stylish-looking headphones there.
I can't fool with it.
It also is they have a bunch of subscribers to a streaming service too.
Right. I didn't know about that.
Apple's got that already, don't they? I mean.
Yeah. Well, Beats. Yeah. Well, Beats came out like maybe a couple months ago with their own Beats Audio or Beats Music service, and it's interesting. Like I don't remember exactly how it works, but I know it's got a unique play system, and like you can assemble like a radio track by essentially putting a sentence together. Of different adjectives and adverbs, and then that's the sound profile of the music you're going to listen to, and so that type of music plays. So
that sounded completely ridiculous. I just want to say
it does, and they don't. I think I'd heard or read somewhere that they have about 300,000 subscribers, so they're not a big music service, but they're another music service, and they're known for their branding. So that's what Apple wants. So.
But it's Apple. Why didn't they buy, like, if they wanted that, why didn't they just go buy like Rdio or Mog or Spotify or Pandora or Slacker or Stitcher or, I mean, there's like a billion, right? You could have bought 5 and had more users. I don't know. It's a weird move, I think. We'll see what happens. It probably won't even happen, right?
Well, maybe there's
another. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say maybe there's something in the music service they want to add to their own iTunes service. Maybe some sort of functionality, proprietary technology that is going to come with that. So,
Bingo.
Or maybe they're just bankrupt of ideas, and this is a pure.
I'm going to go with that.
Blasphemy!
Are you saying Apple is not innovating anymore? No more innovation from Apple? Oh, snap.
Hey, you guys want to hear? I'll tell you what Apple should do. If they want an innovative product, here you go. I'm going to give you my business of the week. They should build a really good reading device. They could kill Kindle if they wanted. I mean, Kindle is so flawed, and you could do such a good job of integrating, speech to text and the reading experience. If I were Apple, I'd build a Kindle.
And imagine how good they could make e-ink look, right? Like the Apple e-ink, it would look like paper, right?
Yeah, they would make it look good. They could integrate. I mean, Kindle, any reading machine needs good integration with speech to text. I don't want to make my marginal notes by typing on a little shitty keyboard with my fingers on glass. I want to save my marginal notes. and I want them to be there when I want to find them and search them. And the Kindle to me is ripe for taking. And Apple's a good company to take it. Why would they want to headphones?
One thing about
it, folks.
You could just tell Siri to do all that stuff, right? Like, space my margins. Siri, take this note. Siri, do this. Like, they could incorporate.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I will have to do a blog post on that because it just seems like I want it. Please, Apple, do it. Do it right.
Something like that.
As soon as you write that blog post, you need to run to the patent office, okay?
Okay.
Haul ass, my man.
Actually, I think I wrote an article not saying Apple should do it. Remember with the old Byte? I think I did that, sort of saying this is what I want in a reading device in the old Byte. Is the old Byte still around, you guys?
I think they killed it. Did they?
Yeah, that would be no. That's gone for a couple years, I thought. About 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the domain goes to a page on informationweek.com. That's an ad. Okay, we'll skip the ad. And then it goes to, hello, we were unable to find the address you requested. You may search for the content you are seeking using our search form or email support at. So everyone that's listening should email support@informationweek.com and ask them what happened to Byte.
Hey.
Your other homework.
Byte bit the dust.
At least sell it. Give us the domain. Like, that's a cool domain, and you're just redirecting some stupid information. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. What are you going to do with it?
Damn lawyers.
Damn, right? All about the
all it is. Damn lawyers.
I'm going to go to community college. I'm going to take some classes, and I'm going to become a lawyer. And then we'll fight evil with evil.
Oh my God.
The dark side.
Can you even imagine? Did you guys see this article on Lifehacker about now, if you live in certain places and you need to, you can text 911 in an emergency.
Oh.
So I can't get to the phone, or maybe I'm driving, so I shouldn't be talking on the phone. I just send a little text. Hey, I'm texting while I'm driving, probably going to crash into somebody. Might want to send help. And then send it.
I personally think that's a bad idea. Seems like people respond to that ringing of a phone kind of thing versus the chime of a text message, the chime of an email. Just watch in day-to-day life. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone sitting in an enterprise office. It could just be the average neighbor. If they're sitting there having a conversation with you and their phone goes off, ding ding, you have mail or whatever, they sort of continue to talk to you and just go on about it. It's like nature. You know what I'm saying?
The 911 dispatcher is going to just totally not see the text, but when they get that call, it's go time, right?
Right. It's just in your nature to pick up that phone when it rings.
Pay attention to.
I'll tell you, that's true. Back in the day, I used to work tech support for this little ISP around here, and I worked from home, so I would forward the phone calls to my house. I would wake up and I'd, make food, and I'd do this for 8 hours and get paid in my living room, right? It was awesome. We also had an IRC room, and even though I had notifications as best as you could in IRC to ring stuff, right, when someone asked a question, 9 times out of 10, I would miss most of the chat people asking for help. But every single one of those phone calls, they got service. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. If they do it crappy like that, it's not gonna be good. I'm sure it'll be better than that though.
Yeah. What's the guarantee that your text will be raised?
Please join the IRC 911 channel and wait for the next available operator.
We're sorry. We're having a LAN party right now. Can you give us about 10 minutes while one of us respawn? Thanks.
Hold on. This match is almost over, okay? 3 more frags and we'll get to you. That's awesome.
Not a good idea.
The providers supporting the service are AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, so, all of them. For the time being, only certain states and counties have call centers that support 911 texting, but the goal is to get this service rolled out nationwide as soon as possible so we can all do it, right? If you're located in an area that will allow the service, make sure you provide your location when sexting 911. Call centers will not have the ability to triangulate your location the same way they could with a phone call. So,
this is sounding
you know what that means, right? You know what that means, right? Like, yeah. I can just send SMS messages into the ether to 911 and you'll have a SWAT team at your house?
Right.
Oh, man.
You got an
I'm kind of with you now. This is not a good idea.
Not so much.
Yeah. I get why they want to be able to do that, because the next step after accepting text messages is automating it. So now it's just text talking to some text that sends a text that then eventually cops will show up. Maybe. Just automate the whole process.
You know, and there's potential there if you can like you can have your GPS coordinates, you know, put in there if you're like kidnapped, you know, I'm over here, GPS coordinates are sent, you know, with SMS or something like that. You know, that kind of meta information down the line if they develop some sort of a system for this. I mean, I don't think that exists now, but there's potential in this in the future, but they're going to have to work on it a while. Obviously, what it sounds like they're planning to do may have some holes in it, so.
Well, and a lot of SMS clients do that now, right? Like, you can attach your location to a message. You can attach an image. I can, like, take a picture of the car I just ran into and then attach my location data to it.
Here's a picture of the inside of my trunk.
All of this instead of just dialing 911. Seriously?
Get a picture of the guy that put me here.
I'm going to record audio, and you're going to figure out where I'm at based on that audio. I've seen this.
Oh, no, not to Instagram, to 911.
Hey, everyone. Hey, friends and family. I'm in a ditch.
Not to that 9 I met last night that I put in my phone as 911. That's my bad. All right, let's wrap things up with this. I thought this was kind of interesting. On Ars Technica, Dan Gooden had an article about steganography, and we've talked about that before, right? You guys know it's the art of putting things, hiding like text inside of images or inside of other texts, right? Stuff like that. There's this cool thing that this guy in New Zealand made, I believe. I think he's in New Zealand. But anyway, he made this little encoder, which will basically take your message and turn it into like some sort of Unicode font that is like has a message hidden inside of it, and you can like here if you go, I don't know if we have the bandwidth. I'm gonna try and do a screen share here. Hold on to your horses. Is that it?
It was there for a millisecond.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. So you see the text here, right? Says the text hidden in this tweet is so secret that it's impossible for adversaries to read or detect. Hashtag steganography rock, right? Okay, so in that message, there is this like hidden message inside of it that you can't see until you encode it back to the original font, and then you can actually read the message. Kind of cool, though. There's a link I threw it. We'll put a link to it in the show notes. You can mess around with the encoder. Here's what it looks like. So you put in your tweet here, right? I had a great day at the beach, for example, what they use. And then you put in what your hidden message is here, right? Kidnapped by pirates. And then here is the tweet that you would copy that has the font encoded in it that you can then post on Twitter. And if you knew what kind of encoding it was, you could then get the secret message out, right? That's kind of cool. I thought it was kind of interesting.
How does it work?
I don't quite follow the encoding versus decoding.
Yeah, how does it work?
You know, this doesn't look like Google Translate. You know.
It's a cool
No. The letters that make up the secret text, they're expressed in this Unicode representation that is included in the public message. They say the encoding added to the messages explains the unusual spacing and fonts found in the tweet, And with a little more work, or in formats not as constrained as Twitter's 140-character limit, it would almost certainly be easier to create messages that appeared less crude.
So it has to do with the different fonts that are used for each character,
right,
and B, the spacing between. So those are two factors that are used to that. So that's interesting. So.
And how about the size of the type? Is that also varying in encode information?
The size of the font? I'm not sure.
Because it looked like it was big letters and little letters. And colors, too. Weren't there different colors?
Yeah.
No, the color was the same.
Oh.
Those were just hashtags. That's how Twitter, But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
There's some additional characters placed in there. Like there's a uppercase, like a O, the letter O, it looks like, is in there.
Right, and that's what it says, is that those are the characters that have like the special message in them. If you take all of the ones that are of that weird Unicode, that would tell you the message.
And of course, our brain just reads.
Right.
Just how you can read words with letters missing, you can read with all the letters there, but spacing is weird or font change. So that's interesting. The brain is doing its work here.
Yeah, go brain.
I am obviously not smart enough to figure this crap out.
Yeah, it's actually.
You don't have to, Ant. That's the great part about it. Somebody else made this awesome generator that'll code and decode for you.
Yeah, it's hard enough just trying to figure out Twitter conversations in the other day because of the whole 140 characters. You get people abbreviating so many different words,
Yeah, well, if you and the 911 call center both use the same cipher, you can say, "Hey, I'm going on vacation," but really pirates have kidnapped me. So, and they will know. Your kidnapper will think you just sent someone a message that you're on vacation, but you're not.
Picture of the trunk of my car from the inside.
You could hide a message in that also.
That's right.
That's true. You can have another message in the picture.
And he does all this in JavaScript. It's kind of cool. It's called stagofthedump.js. So we'll put links to all this in the show notes at anothertechshow.com. What?
Oh, so it's just so we can all go use it. It's just.
Yeah, we can use it like.
Oh, I'm gonna send a secret message to 911 or something.
I'm gonna tweet at 911 this secret message.
They will respond to tweets, though. I bet you. Not text, but tweets.
Okay.
Dick?
Bullshit.
Look what you started. So, I thought that was kind of interesting. A little different, since we've talked about staking out of here before. I thought that was an interesting use. They say it'll work with like Twitter, it'll work in email, anything that Unicode font will work well. And they say Facebook probably won't work, and Google Plus probably not, because of the way they do the renderings, the encoding. Like you have like different, like in Google Plus, if you do asterisk before and after your sentence, it'll bold it, right? So they're doing something else besides just pure Unicode in there that will mess it up. But they say Twitter it works, email, just like if you just send it in an email, it'll work. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Mess around with that. We'll play around with it a little bit and see what's happening. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? The Microsoft $399 Xbox One without the Kinect?
Yeah, I threw that in there. Basically, Microsoft has been doing the classic 180 for the last year. They announced their Xbox One with a whole bunch of DRM and a bunch of other unpopular decisions, and Sony, as a console maker, has been winning this console war by producing like a $100 cheaper console that's more powerful, that's a more dedicated game machine without all this craziness that Microsoft has been doing. And then Microsoft, they had a hit to their public relations in terms of basically some bad decisions on their part. And over the last year, since they announced their Xbox One at last year's E3 to today, essentially they're now announcing, their console's been out for 6 months, and they've been selling about half as many consoles as a Sony PlayStation. So they're basically reacting to public pressure. A lot of people like me don't want to buy the $500 console with essentially a $100 webcam on it, that's on all the time or anything like that. And a lot of people that buy their consoles up till now have just not been using their Kinect. And now they're like, you know what? We're losing this console war. We're going to go ahead and make a Kinect-less version of the Xbox One console for everyone. So in June, they're going to have that version out. So it's going to be $100 cheaper, same price as the PlayStation 4. and it's not going to have that camera that hardly anyone's going to use included. So that's kind of cool.
Will they call it the new Microsoft Xbox Disconnect?
Maybe so.
I've never been a fan of Xbox. Never been a fan of it.
Yeah, me neither. You could get the PC and like do better games, I feel like. I mean, Project Gotham when the first Xbox came out, that was cool. Cuz compared to what was out at the time and like the controller, the feedback, like that was one of the coolest racing games that I've played personally. And I like those racing games. Like that was a very realistic for me. It was way cool. Anything after that though, it was just like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm a member of the PC Master Race like pretty much all of us, so it's kind of hard to go back to a console when you've got a PC that's more powerful.
PC Master Race. And with that and the title of the show, probably, this has been episode 95 of YATS. Every week, yet another techshow.com. Subscribe in iTunes, leave us a review. We're on Stitcher. All that stuff. You can email the crew at yetanothertechshow.com if you've got any questions about your tech. Maybe we can help you out with that, perhaps. Nick Carroll, thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be back. Thank you, guys.
On Attack of the Androids on Tuesday nights. Aunt Pruitt, check him out on Point and Shoot Thursday nights.
That is correct. Tomorrow night at about 9 p.m. Eastern.
You should mention that thing. Sorry, that was vague.
That thing?
You should mention that photography.
I have to be careful. I don't want the NSA knocking down the door behind me.
Yo, that thing about that thing, yo, you know, come on.
Please. No, there's a company called Professional Litho. They have a photo contest out there that's open to the public, but it's a smartphone photography photo contest. The contest theme is on reflection. So take your smartphone, take a shot of something that, you know, pretty much displays reflection. Sit it up there and get people to vote on it, and you can win a $100 iTunes gift card. Right now, I have a shot in there, and a couple other community members have some shots in there. And so go in there, check it out. Check out my feed on Google Plus or Twitter, and look for my shot and vote on it, because as an Android user, I would really love to get an iTunes gift card just for the hell of it.
And how do people vote for that?
Yeah. You just log in. You can vote with your Facebook account, or you can use OpenID like I did, because you know I don't have a Facebook account.
Oh, that's what I was hinting at. It is a Facebook contest? Okay, now that's cool, Aunt Pruitt, with a Facebook contest that's not on Facebook. That's totally fine.
Exactly.
I love that.
But look up Professional Litho on Facebook, and the contest is right there on their page.
Just put a link to it in the show notes.
Yep, and I will link to it, of course.
Absolutely.
I wanted to take a picture of me holding a report card that says like an F in big red and just going, and like reflecting on it. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Yes.
All right.
Shout out to Mari G. She's been messaging me. She's been watching our show live and watched the whole thing. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Holy
Shouts out to listeners. Hell yeah. Larry Press has a blog, of course. We'll put a link to that in the show notes, as we always do, at yetanothertechshow.com. Anything interesting you want to mention coming up, Larry?
No, there's nothing interesting. Just
there we go.
keep your eyes peeled for this, the advice to Apple that I just outlined. I'll do a blog post then.
I can't wait. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.